Hi everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Tuesday, September 10th. Don't usually do a market recap, midweek recap on a Tuesday, but I will be traveling tomorrow, Wednesday, so I thought I'd just throw one up here tonight, go over a couple trades I did today, swing trades, and also just go over the indexes, see where we are. Seems like the path of least resistance continues to be higher. And we've still got some optimism back in the market with the trade talks coming back up again here in October. But honestly, I just don't share the optimism. But lots of people in the market obviously do. So you've got to go with the flow. So here's let's just go over the indexes quickly, see what's happening. I was looking at, I was expecting this. You see this double bottom here on the 10-year yield. You could see here it just did a double bottom, and now we've come back up significantly on hopes of a trade deal, which I think is really optimistic to think we're going to get some kind of a trade deal on in October or anything close to it. But optimism is coming into the market on this, and you can see here yields are coming back up again. So I think we're going to get back up to, maybe get to this 50 moving average and probably taper off there. I think we've got another rate cut coming, another Fed rate cut coming here next little while. See on the weekly, you can see here significant bounce back up, and it was really, really, really oversold. You can see here RSI down under 20. So it was definitely due for a bounce anyway, but I think we go back down again because economies still seem to be slowing. Fed has already said they're going to do whatever they have to do to keep the economy rolling, and I think rates are going to go lower again. So here's the index. The Dow again sold off, managed to pull out a positive day regardless here. And again, path of least resistance seems to be higher. RSI continues to go higher. We had a good day on volume. Volume's kind of building back up here. So again, I would say path of least resistance higher on the Dow this week. IWM was something I was keeping an eye on the weekend. I mentioned it. I'm sorry about, I think I truncated the video on the weekend. Cut it off short, but I was quite interested in the small caps. They seem to, they've seemed to have lagged here. They didn't make a new high when all the other indexes did back here in July, and they've been struggling ever since. But I was kind of looking at, made a double bottom here, was making some higher low here, and I kind of was thinking, if it got above this level, it was going to break out. And sure enough, today we had a really nice clean breakout through the 50 moving average, and I took a long on TNA and still holding some here, and I expect we're going to maybe go a little bit higher, although this could be right up where we are right now, could be a level of resistance. But if we can get through this, I might sell a little in the morning, and then if we can get through this, might get up to maybe even 157 might be another level I would look at. But it all looks pretty good here. We did it on volume. So yeah, liking the small caps. There seems to be there's some rotation going on. A lot of these high flyers are really rolling over, and the small caps would be something that has been lagging, and so money seems to be leaving some of the the high PE stocks, the high flyers, and going into some of the small caps for sure. You can see here the Qs. Qs struggle today, and again, I think this is a reflection of some of the high-flying stocks that have been the valuations have been being taken down a bit here. And so although the Qs did hold the 50-day moving average, so again we had the sell-off and the comeback. So seems like there's buyers in this market regardless. Let's take a look at the SPY here. See how we did again. Gap down, um, held the 50, and again buyers came back in and bought this up. So I think, again, I think we're gonna trend higher here unless there's some real negative news flow that hits. Of course, today we had was it the defense advisor get fired or told to show in the door, and that affected energy prices. So, and here's the dollar. The dollar's just kind of hanging in here right now. I think it's like it's forming a bit of a pendant here. You can see it's narrowing into this range, so we'll be, I'll be watching that to see which way this breaks. But I think it's probably trend is definitely your friend, and the trend is up. So I would think that the dollar would probably go higher. So if you were inclined, you could take a long position at 26, and you wouldn't really need much of a stop out point there, 26.60, and then, you might get back up to 27. So not a big move because this does not move a lot, but maybe not a bad risk reward. Again, the volatility index spiked up, but then as the buyers came in, that pulled back again. So let's take a look at what we got on watch quickly here. Baidu was one I was interested in as well. I was looking at this. It was holding this 102.07 level, and I was kind of keeping an eye on it in the morning, but I didn't keep a good eye on it as I should have. It really started. It ripped right from the open. It just started to go up from the open, and I bought into it at 108. I announced that in the room. I bought into it as a day trade, but I also bought into it in my swing trade account. So I'm still holding some. I got in at 108, and I am still holding some because I think it's probably good up to maybe 111. But had a nice run today, and just holding some for this 111.50 probably will be that'll be some resistance, because there was support here, support here, support here, all around this 112.70 level. So yeah, I really liked the way it was kind of just consolidating and holding this level, and that's what got my attention on the weekend. Started watching it, and then we had that nice Monday. Didn't really move much, but a good day on Monday, and nice follow-through day today. Chinese internets again just got sold off and bought up. Lulu's an interesting stock that I'm just going to be watching here. You can kind of see it held this level. Prior resistance became support here today, the 193 level. I think it actually, tomorrow I'll be keeping an eye on it. Might put a trade on and hold it to see if it can get back to that 200 level. Now you can play this a couple ways. You could sell some 190 puts, and if the stock continued to go higher, you sold them for end of the weeks. End of the week expiry, you could just collect the premium on that. I'm not sure where the premium is right now. It might be pretty low. It might be only 50 cents or something like that. Or you could just play it long. See how it opens tomorrow, see what it does tomorrow. If it continues to move through 195, I think we're going to go back to 200. So if you didn't want to lay a lot of money out, you could buy a 200 call, maybe and maybe a monthly call, which would be the third Friday, and hold on to that. Maybe sell a 205 against it. So you'd take some premium out. People that know how to trade options probably know what I'm talking about here. So Nugget, I'm still keeping an eye on. It looks like it's kind of running out of downside pressure, and I'll be looking to see if and when it starts to look like it's going to reverse. Again, this was a kind of a low volume day for another down day, so maybe we'll start to turn around here. There's lots of people that are prognosticating about $2,000 gold with negative interest rates and a slowing economy, and it's not going to happen tomorrow, obviously, but I still think Nugget has some lots of potential to the upside. Yeah, I was looking at PayPal too here. It kind of held this again, bottom here, kind of held this 103 level. So I'm going to watch that in the morning as well. Maybe trade against this 103 level. Lots of volume today on this. Big flush down here today. Big flush again today. So maybe the selling's kind of done on this, and we've got a level to trade against, this 103 level. So I'll be watching that in the morning. Roku really took a hit today with Apple's announcement of their streaming service, their TV streaming service. I'm not sure Roku really should have been. It's been on a big tear, so of course I think there was a lot of just a more of an excuse to take some profits. But I think Roku could be a decent swing trade. See how it trades tomorrow if we get. So we had some big volume day here today, so maybe this flushed out some of the weak hands, and maybe people will be dashing back into that. Silver, hollow fill candle day, but again kind of held this level, so we may be sort of on the verge of turning here as well. Square just does not look good no matter how you look at that chart. Seems to be down at a level of support here, but it sure doesn't have, looks like it doesn't have a lot of strength here, kind of topping. So I wouldn't be looking at this until it gets back above sort of 64-ish. TNA was the other trade I put on today. Again, just a really nice follow-through day here, so I just put some on and holding some because I think it probably goes higher. Maybe we get back up. Maybe we get up to 60 tomorrow, and I'll be taking some off there. Natural gas looks like it's topping out here, so maybe a degas trade. So lots of opportunities here. USO again. I mentioned it's oil price came off today on this this news. So maybe it's, I'm not sure if it's going to do a pullback or not. So just keep an eye on that. Anyway, lots to look at, lots to watch tomorrow, and for setups. And we'll see what happens. I'll be in the trading room in the morning. We'll see everyone then. And this is my book on Amazon. If you haven't checked it out already, How to Swing Trade by Brian Pezum. You can check it out. And yeah, like I said, we'll see you in the room tomorrow, and I will be traveling for the rest of the week, but still may have time to do a market recap on the weekend here. All right, we'll see everyone in the room tomorrow. Ciao for now, everyone.